Hi everyone, welcome to Yogetic. My name is Esther and today I'd like to explain to you what to do after you finished a yoga session. So just a few poses to cool down before you go into your relaxation, which is a cool down in itself. And something to not skip. So towards the end of a yoga session it's nice to end in a forward bend, because forward bend calms the body down, calms the mind down and prepares you for either meditation or relaxation. I would go with a symmetric pose. So you could have done your asymmetric poses like the one-legged forward bends before, and then these ones, and then I would end with a seated forward bend. So your legs are outstretched in front of you. Remember, you can sit up on something to help raise your hips, and on an in-breath you lengthen your spine. Your feet are flexed. As you're exhaling, you can come into a forward fold. Now, it's nice to remember that we're not trying to get the head down, but we're just more trying to get the lower ribs towards the leg. So even if it means that you're right up here, you're better off to be right up here than that you start bending in your upper back to get down there. Okay, so just be where you are. You can either hold onto your legs, or if you manage, holding onto your toes, or even onto your feet if you want to go further down. And on an in-breath, you remind yourself of giving your shoulders a place on the back and extending your heart forward. And on the out-breath, you can see if there's that little bit more space to go down. And again, on the in-breath, you remind yourself of your heart extending forward. And on the out-breath, if you can go down a bit more. Now, if you know you're quite far down here and you're flat and you can still feel the shoulders on the back, you can begin to relax your head a little, but never push your face down like that. And just close your eyes and just stay here for about 10 breaths if it's part of your cool down, part of yoga at the end of your yoga class. So after 10 breaths, you can come up. And a twist is always something good to do after any back bends or forward bends, just to unwind the spine, and also good for a cooling down. So you can take a simple twist with your arms out and knees go down to the left. Struggling here with my microphone. Good. And stay here for another 5 to 10 breaths, breathing into the top side to open and relax, and back, and then going to the other side. These are all poses I would do towards the end of a yoga session. And back to center. I like to do the stretches with one leg up, where you hold the back of your leg and you're pushing back into your hands to really release the thigh bone into the hips. And again, this calming for the body. So you can hold that for a few breaths, release, feel the difference between the two legs, and then do the other side as well. You're just pushing back into your hands. The thigh bone moves down into the hip joints and letting go. And then always the inversions are important. So with inversions, if you have high blood pressure, neck injuries, or you're pregnant and you're not sure, or at least if you have your period, then definitely don't do the inversions. And if you've never done things like shoulder stand or plow before, I would definitely suggest that you do that with an experienced teacher to make sure your alignment is okay. So for the shoulder stand and the plow, I would suggest having a blanket or a few blankets together, so you're a little bit higher up, and a chair at the back, especially if you were not very familiar with these poses. You could lie down with your head on the floor and your shoulders on the blankets. And on an out breath, press your lower back down, bring your knees into your chest and roll through and place your feet on the chair. Then you pull the shoulders underneath and you're placing your hands in your back to support yourself. So this is supported plow pose, halasana. And it's a great cooling down pose. And I would always suggest ending your practice. If you're experienced and you know what you're doing anyway, ending your practice with inverted poses. You can stay here for a while and then move into shoulder stand. And stay there for a while as well. So basically with plow and shoulder stand, to remember is to keep your chest open. I'm just going to go back to plow. I'm talking a little bit easier in there. So you keep your chest open, you keep your shoulder blades firmed and your back straight. So you're not collapsing there. You're really trying to keep opening the chest, bring the breastbone to the chin. And your hips as much as possible over the shoulders. With the shoulder stand, it's best to have your legs coming down a little bit this way and having your chest and your back sort of straight, then trying to bring your legs all the way up and collapsing here. Yeah, so always aim for having your hands up along the spine as much as possible and your chest as open as possible. Okay. And then you can come out gently and bringing your feet down. And just to counteract that stretch, I would always at least roll my head from side to side. And you can always do a quick fish pose after to open the throat. Okay. And then of course part of the cool down again is relaxation, but I think you can find a different video about that. So yeah, you don't have to do all these poses, you can choose a few just to calm the body down before the end and to cool the body down. Another nice one is where you just flat with your hips on the floor and you're bringing your legs up against the wall. Okay, hope you enjoyed it and that it's helpful for you, and thank you for joining me. Oh, sorry. If you enjoyed this and you want to do me a favor, please rate, comment and subscribe to my channel. Thanks.